We had dark attachments for decades. Being bored teens, a few friends of mine and I decided to do a seance to contact the dead. When that utterly failed, someone made a homemade Ouija board and said it would work fine. It was slow going, but eventually, we got answers. And most of us were just thinking someone else was moving it. Until it got super creepy and was answering questions only one or few of us knew. It was creepy until it got dangerous. The sweetest, timidest girl just suddenly lunged at the other guy there and tried strangling him. Thankfully, she was a little thing, and we could pull her off, and the guy was more startled than hurt. But no one will forget the ugly visage of raw hatred and rage twisted onto her otherwise sweet face. And she claims she doesn't remember any of it. One minute asking the bored questions, next moment being held back looking at confused friends. That was enough for all of us, and we never tried an Ouija board again. But not one of us knew how dangerous it was to leave a board without saying goodbye. We basically went our separate ways and never spoke of that night again. The sweet girl fell into self-doubt and depression and struggled with it for years. The other girl turned to drug addiction and destroyed her life. She was best friends with the sweet girl and the girlfriend of the other guy, but pushed them both away after that and got heavy into drugs. The other guy went down a slippery slope of rage and ended up pulling guns on people and being arrested and put through court-mandated anger management, but only got worse. Found a way to abuse people and be venomous without getting arrested. Ended up pushing everyone else away. And me? I got a dark attachment that followed me around wherever I moved or lived. Bad dreams. Weird scratches waking up at night. Weird smells or thinking I see something that isn't there when I go look. Usually a shadow shape of a man. I tried the whole cleansing and praying. It would help a while but seemed to come back worse after a while. Then I would try priests and other holy people. Again, it would help for a while and then come back after a time. Especially if I moved. I lost touch with the other girl shortly after she broke up with the other guy and got into drugs. And ended my friendship with the other guy a couple of years later after he threw an axe at me in a fit of rage. But I kept in touch with the sweet girl from time to time. And we wouldn't talk about that night, but we talked about how our lives sucked since then. Neither of us could keep a relationship. Her, due to crushing depression, even meds didn't help. And me because every girl I dated either had kids that would freak out over the shadow man, or the girls themselves would be affected like I was, and nope right the heck out of there. This happened over 20 years. Then one day sweet girl called me all happy. She said her depression was gone, it seemed for good, and the dark cloud over her was gone. She never wanted to scare me, but she saw the same shadow man and had the same issues with cleansings and priest blessings not working. She just didn't want to worry me and left those parts out. I was a bit mad she kept that from me for years because I would have loved to have supported her. But I was too relieved that she got rid of it so far, and I was instead curious about how she did. She told me about a spiritual person she came across through other people she knew who suffered from dark entities and issues. She had joined a spiritual support group, and many had stories of how a spiritual person helped get rid of the dark attachment almost instantly, and now they were just in the support group to process the old junk, but not worried about new junk popping up. So, she gives me the info and I get in touch with this person. And I'm a little underwhelmed. The big fix is something I do myself, with something called the Law of Dominion. So, I asked a bunch of questions and they answered.
What is it?
The Law of Dominion is the law put forth by Prime Source Creator to protect all of humanity from dark and evil entities.
What does it do?
This law prevents creatures and beings like demons, vampires, black-eyed children, skinwalkers, and any evil entity from entering a home or enclosed and private space without permission.
How does this manifest with most dark entities?
Most evil entities will beg or demand entry or try and trick people with sounds or voices to go out into the deep woods or darkness alone.
What about animals or the truly innocent young children who don't know any better?
The Law of Dominion protects young children even more. All evil entities are required to show their true face when trying to seduce young children as an added precaution. because most children will not allow it to come to them or go near such things. This is why young children have more night terrors or insist on monsters in public or things under the bed or in closets in earlier years of development.
How can this law help me?
The law can be invoked at any time to protect oneself or an area and works immediately on any dark entities, as any connection to light and holiness would be like invoking the blood of Jesus or singing Muslim songs to Allah that seem to work no matter the person's beliefs or background or convictions.
Why does it work for anyone of any belief or spirituality? Or lack thereof?
Prime Source Creator is the source of all life and love in the universe and is the basis of all religions, but because humans' concept of the divine is limited to a human brain, Prime Source Creator can work through any religion you prefer, as long as love is the core and intent.
How do I personally invoke the law of dominion?
If you're enjoying today's video about stories of our lives, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this and more. Now, let's get back to the video.
I call Prime Source Creator into myself to heal, guide, protect, reveal, communicate, and manifest in the way best for my current spiritual growth and well-being. I call upon all angels, ancestors, soul groups, spirit guides, and beings of light, all directly connected to Prime Source Creator, to surround and heal, reveal, communicate, manifest, guide, and illuminate in the way best for my current spiritual growth and well-being. Where I dwell is holy ground. Everywhere I look and walk is holy ground. All my friends and family and pets, and everyone I see is also protected. All beings of true darkness disconnected from Prime Source Creator must flee, or fall low and return to the light and love of Prime Source Creator. And so it shall be now and for as long as I live.
I thought it was too good to be true. But this person never asked for any money, and just shared all this. So, I gave it a try. And though a bit doubting, as I said the words, I felt this rush inside of me. And as I finished, I felt this weight lift off my chest and almost an audible pop. I couldn't believe how good I felt. I didn't realize I had such a dark weight on me. I didn't get too excited, because I had cleansed before, and it always came back. But some time went past, and as time has gone on, I'm living my life as if it's my own again. I'm sure others have been helped by the law of dominion. But Sweet Girl and I suffered for decades. And our lives are so much better for it. And if you suffered even a day like us, you'd try anything once, especially if it's free. For me, it works. Highly recommended.
More paranormal stuff is happening. Hey, I'm not sure if any of you guys remember me, but I posted a couple of months ago about how there was some scary stuff happening. The last thing that happened was the apparition in the photo that was taken by my roommate. Well, today I had come home, and I walked into my room to grab some stuff, and the lights randomly turned on, and I thought, well, maybe I left them on and I'm seeing stuff, but then they started to do the multicolor flashing, then turned off completely. I grabbed the remote and turned it back on, and instead of it flashing the multicolor, it went back to white. I even tested to see if I had a different color turn it off, and if it would be the same color when I turn it back on, and it was. Then I grab my stuff to leave again with my roommate, and we leave and we find my cat outside. He's not an outside cat, and there is no way he could have gotten out at any time before we left. After that, this electric gate we have started closing by itself. I had to calm down before posting because I couldn't type, it freaked me out so much. I live in the country, so if my 9-month-old kitten had gotten out he would have died, so this was all very nerve-wracking. Update. We went to Hooters after all that happened. When we got home my lights were on again, so I turned them off and went back to the living room. Not even 10 minutes later my roommate starts freaking out. The lights turned back on and were flashing red on and off, so the lights are gone and we cleansed the house. I'm getting a normal lamp cause of that. I'm also going to try and get more of this on video. I'm an action person, I freak out and try to stop what is happening rather than recording. Might plug in the lights again to see if it will do it again. Also don't want to give it more power, so probably not. Also, the last time I posted I had a ton of people ask to use this in their podcast. I don't mind, just let me know what episode and I'll give it a listen.
Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to see more videos about stories of our lives. Click on one of these videos to watch more and see you soon.